Welcome back to the show. Oh gee, that's a Stones classic, isn't it? Mixed with some beautiful images. It's been just over 2.5 weeks since we lost much-loved Melbourne cafe owner Sisto in the Burke Street attack.
His legacy lives on, of course, at Pellegrini's, and now Rolling Stones band member Tim Rees has written a special tribute song to Sisto.
Now he's getting a tribute song written by some Rolling Stones band member. Now it's just getting ridiculous. And if you Melbourneites can help me out here, is Sisto really this big in Melbourne? Or is this the first time you've ever seen him on your TV screens ever? Was he constantly on as the go-to guy for, say, stories about coffee, on TV that the media went to? And did he turn up did he provide catering to any, official functions? And, you've seen him out and about with the mayor or whatever? Because I'm trying to work out, how are they dragging this out to make him out like he's so big? So my question is this the first time you've ever seen him? And another thing that troubles me is how much footage there is of him while he was still alive, just in his workplace. He's not looking at the camera. I mean, what's the purpose of this footage? It's not an occasion, he's just at work. So it makes me suspicious that, well, I'm suspicious already that he's definitely not part of the terror attacks, but he's dead. But I'm suspicious that he was perhaps going to die of natural causes, something like that, that they then have taken all this footage in preparation for state funerals and this debacle. All right, let's just see what this Rolling Stones band member they've roped in to start reading scripts. And oh, look at this, free plug for him, eh? But anyway, all right, let's just go.
And we're very pleased to say he joins us now. Tim, good morning. What made you want to write this piece of music?
All right, he's got his instrument with him. I'm not sure he's just about to start playing, but he's definitely a musician. And I'm not sure, is that Sisto's Cafe? Is he parked himself down there for this load of crap? But look, I already know what's made him decide to write this piece of music, if he even wrote it. We don't even know that. But let's just listen to this bullshit script being read.
Well, first of all, good morning to you, and thanks for having me. I've been in Melbourne many times over the years, and the Rolling Stones, when we stay here, our hotel is very close by, so I would stop in the morning and have coffee here and come back later and have pasta. And I was here about 3 or 4 months ago and having a nice bowl of pasta, and Sisto was at the end of the bar where he always sits, and then we had a long chat, and it turned into an hour-long chat. And then the idea about this place is that
people add unnecessary details. It's a load of bullshit because they're trying to make out like it's real when it's not. And that's what people do who are lying through their friggin' arse like this guy. So, okay, here we go. We got another what are the chances moment. So what are the chances that a month before this tragedy where Sisto died, this guy, unverifiably, I'd like to see any witnesses to this, had a big conversation with Sisto because, whenever they come to Melbourne, they always come to Sisto's place for coffee, and he knew Sisto well enough. They just went up and just started talking to him. What an absolute load of fucking bullshit. Oh, God, people believe this as well.
But it's so unusual in the world. There's very few of these places left where you feel like you come into somebody's home and you feel invited and you have a conversation. And I've, over the years, met him many times, and the last time I was here, we sat and talked about just everything, about family and, like relationships and being in Italy and I live in New York, and so.
Okay, he's big on generalisations of the topics, but very light on detail, and liars tend to do that because details can catch you out. He's not quoting anything that, say, Sisto said, any words of wisdom or any details of the actual conversations because, if he doesn't know everything that Sisto has said to everyone else, or who else would know about Sisto's life? So if he makes a quote from Sisto, someone could go, no, that can't be right. So he's purposely being light on detail because he's lying. All he's saying is, I've been here many times, and I was here a month ago. Yeah, what day was that? He said, it must have been a day. No one's seen him in there. It must have been a day that, you weren't in there. All this sort of just generalisation bullshit that, they can get away with when they're lying.
I've been here so many times, and I was in New York and heard the news about his passing, and I heard about the attack, that one person died. Well, the thing is that a friend of mine texted me and she goes, "You're not going to believe who this was."
So he said he was in New York, and look, ordinarily in New York, if someone got stabbed on the other side of the world dead, they're not going to hear about it. But because it's terror, 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 they broadcast it on the CNN and all that. I'm pretty sure that's what they do. They did it anyway because they want to they can't have all these fake terror events just in the one country, but they want them to apply to all countries. So that's why the media just, as soon as someone goes Allah Akbar, it's just boom all over the world. Without the Allah Akbar, it's just a local incident. So okay, he said he's heard. He was in New York and he heard, but obviously he didn't know who it was. Now, I don't believe that he got a text because, first of all, he doesn't say who the friend was. And secondly, why would they open up with, well, you're not going to believe who died when they don't know? How do they know he doesn't know who died?
Sisto from the restaurant said, "Oh my God."
So obviously this friend knew who Sisto was because they're letting you know that it's Sisto. And that meant something to you. So there was a connection between this friend and you and Sisto. Can you tell us who your friend was? No, he's not going to. And look at his mannerisms as he's telling this story. He's even acting out what he supposedly did when he was in New York. Now, when someone tells a story, do you start like acting it out, animating it? Oh, look, maybe that's just how he is. But generally, when someone's lying and they want it to be more convincing, they will be more animated. He's got all these props there. He's still got his instrument there, just to confirm he's a musician.
And the thing is that over the course of years, many of my friends, like in Connecticut, the shooting that happened there with many kids, two of my friends who were musicians, their kids were 6 years old and they were killed by a gunman there. So,
oh God, he's the script writer. She just got over the top. Okay. Who are your friends? I mean, the kids died. Surely their names were published. Could you say, "Oh, my friend, was the kid was the parent of this child and of this child, the shooting in Connecticut?" So, this terror thing. Oh, no wonder he's writing a song. It's just, Sisto's been killed by terror. Kids of his friends have been killed by terror. He's moved his instrument over to the other side now. What doesn't he just put it down and tell the story? He's keeping it in view.
And so I personally knew these people and I wrote a song for them, and my music is my therapy. So
what song was that? Can you tell us what the song is? Maybe we can find it, listen to it. No, because he didn't actually write a song for those mythical friends that he's just made up, because the hook was actually made up. So, also, have you ever seen a musician talk so quickly and he's just going from one topic to another? You watch any interview with any musician, they're pretty much laid back and they'll sort of answer a question, wait for the next question. But he's got a story to tell, a script to read. So that's why he's just reading it really fast, very non-musician-like.
So I basically write music all the time, but like these things are very emotional. And when I heard this news, I just sat at the piano and I just wrote this song for him, because it was like the idea also that you hear about, okay, one person in Melbourne was killed. And who is that person? That person has a name. That person is a father, a grandfather, a husband, a proprietor of this great restaurant. And so there's these things that, like, it's not a number, it's actually a name. So I wrote this song for him called "The Name for Every Number," because that number is a name, is a real person. And this horrible accident that happened, and not accident, this horrible attack, and it's happening far too many times around the world.
Yeah, get the script right. It was an attack, not an accident. I don't know how you could mix accident up with attack. I mean, you're telling us something that's, true, that to you, so you know all the details. I don't know how you got that mixed up. Unless, of course, you're just reading something you've memorized that somebody else wrote. God.
And I have a peace ensemble of musicians from around the world, from Israel, Palestinians, Lebanese, Afghans, Syrians.
Oh, come on. No. Oh, they've just got absolutely over-the-top ridiculous. I mean, what are the chances? Okay, first of all, that he, knew Sisto, only spoke to him about a month ago. He's a musician, and he's written a song, and he's had people in Connecticut, his kids died in a shooting. He didn't actually say Sandy Hook. Maybe there's a lot of other shootings over there. And he cares so much about peace, and he's so immersed in all this terror that he's got a peace ensemble of musicians from, he said, Israel, Palestinians, Lebanon, Syria, and Afghanis, all areas where there's just conflict, banker conflict, just in that area right there. Like he could have said from all over the world, from say Chile or Hungary, maybe Spain, Ireland. No, no, no. He's from those countries right in the biggest conflict zones, which never gets mentioned on MSN. Now, when was the last time we had a story on ISIS? Go to Blackstone Intelligence and see where Israeli settlers were pouring tankers of excrement, flooding a Palestinian town with it, with IDF soldiers with guns drawn in case the Palestinians decide to do something about it, just to clear the Palestinians out. That's what goes on over there. They've annexed the Golan Heights, the Taliban, and there's bombings going on all the time. And he's gone there specifically to those countries. What did he put it out and go, oh, can I just, I'm putting out a general requests from musicians around the world to form a peace ensemble, and musicians from Israel, Palestinians, Lebanese, and Afghanis, Syrians. They were the only ones. What? No one else wanted to be part of this peace ensemble. Remember, we are the world. Is that what you're saying? From the 80s? Look, these script writers, look, he's reading it, so he's to blame as well, but this is for Australians' consumption, and people, and he's still he hasn't broken and let them ask him another question. He's just got in this big monologue about how immersed and how affected he is by terror, and how he's written a song for Sisto. Oh God, can this get any worse?
And I'm doing concerts for peace, and I'm trying to create the awareness that we really need to have more dialogue and sort of understanding about what's happening in the world. So these tragic things are just far too often. And
I remember being and covering. We had a series of terror attacks a couple of years ago. Remember, and I remember I went to Nice, and for some reason, Nice really got me personally because
we finally tailed off there and left some room for someone else to talk. And then Carl's going in about this personal attachment. If anyone says Allah Akbar, there's no personal attachment to, any road death or fuck that. Just if someone says, even someone gets stabbed or brutally murdered or something, it's just, normal crime. But if someone says Allah Akbar, it's so emotional. And look at Carl about to tell something, they're including the niece in this bullshit now.
What was it like for you to come back into that restaurant?
Well, it was strange because I heard the news about 3 or 4 days or so before I was going to fly here. And the strange thing is I just bought this ring in Melbourne, and then I was sitting with Sisto because he had a really cool ring on his little finger, and I was like, oh, that's a really cool ring. I had lost mine, so I was thinking, right before coming, I was thinking about him, like, I'll go to the restaurant and maybe find out where he got it, and maybe I'll go get one. It was just and then finding out it was him. So it was strange. So the day that I arrived, I came here for pasta that night. And it was.
Looking to the side there, I think the prompter, the producer there, is having a bit of a go at him for the way he read the script. Because he's reading the script, it's not chronological. He's just remembering bits of it and saying it as he remembers what bits he's meant to say. But basically what he said there is that, he's already planning to come and see Sisto and talk to him about rings because he'd admired his from a previous visit. And amazingly, he had lost his. So this is just another bullshit connection that they're trying to make between this idiot and Sisto, even though he's never met Sisto. And why didn't he mention this right at the start? Why didn't he say, when I found out he had passed away, I was actually wanting to meet him about a ring that he had, but I couldn't do that anymore. He's only mentioning it now, so maybe he was meant to mention it. And the script prompter said, hey, you've got to mention this bit. Okay, I'll do it in the next sequence. Yeah, while Carl was talking.
Kind of a sobering realization that, hey, this is just real. And they have a tribute to him at the end of where he usually sits. And it's a thing. And you talk about Nice. I lived in Nice for a while. So when that happened, my apartment was like just a few minutes walk from that region. And then, like you say, this guy killed like all these people and kids and it's unfathomable.
What's unfathomable is your connection to all these terror events. People in Sandy Hook, Sisto from here. And what did you just say? Well, when it happened, my apartment was just, and you sort of had your head above your head there. You were a bit vague about where your apartment was because you're vague on details because everything you're saying is just an absolute load of bullshit.
this continues happening. And yeah, this is real, and it happens, and you know these people. And
hear that, viewers? It's real. It's Nice is real. Sandy Hook was real, and Sisto was real, because this guy, he's got a connection to them all, and he can tell you because he knows.
it's a terrible thing, but
it absolutely is. I'm wondering, Tim, if you can give us a little rendition of the beautiful song that you've written for Sisto.
well, I certainly can. And the thing is, when I sat at the piano and I wrote this, so it's really for piano, and we're going to premiere this week here at Bird's Basement in Melbourne. It's a beautiful club, and we're playing tonight, Wednesday through Sunday, and Sunday is like a brunch show for children and for families. So at 2 o'clock. So it's a place not just for adults. So if people can come and enjoy this, and so you'll hear this just on saxophone, but this week we'll be able to play with guitar, drums, and piano. And Bernard Fowler, the singer with the Stones, is with me. So we're going to play many Rolling Stones songs, and so it's this song, but many other great songs, and hopefully people can come and enjoy this. So
that's why he's got his saxophone with him. Oh, yeah. See, well, this wasn't set up, was it? He didn't bring it along because he knew he was going to play, and Georgie was going to ask him. Oh, God, what a stitch up this is. Well, just an out-and-out, fully rehearsed and scripted load of garbage. But, yeah, he says that he's a Rolling Stones band member, but I don't think he knows. I don't know how much of a permanent band member he is. And he's saying they've got a Stone singer. Well, obviously not Mick Jagger or one of the other ones. Must be a backup singer or something. Anyway, so he's got his plug for whatever. Oh, and it's the Peace Ensemble. You haven't mentioned them. Are they going to? You didn't say we could see them. So obviously they're not going to be there. When are you next going to put this ensemble together? And, do they, where are they now? Are they back in Palestine? And, well, it's no such thing as Palestine. Don't say that to an Israeli. Back in Israel, in a Palestinian settlement, is back in Syria or Afghanistan, and they just leave these war-torn zones. Just, we got a phone call from Tim. Oh, we've got a gig. All right, you're a Palestinian. I just run the gauntlet of all these IDF. Hopefully I won't get shot dead. The Israeli guy. Oh, maybe the Israeli musician who goes in and gets him. Oh, he's with us. We're a peace ensemble. Yeah, he's all right. This is just the biggest load of garbage. I'm not going to play. If you want to watch it, you may be able to find. It's not a very good song. And if you want to, I'm not going to play any of it. So this video's got all long enough. So, all right, that's it. Look, there's just too many, coincidences and amazing, connections between this guy and all this terror stuff. So, look, just scripted bullshit. And this went on for quite some time, quite a few minutes. So, yeah, they really wanted to get this real and ongoing and, Sisto thing. They want to cement that in as a big terror event, even though Sisto was, most likely dead prior to the terror accident. No, attack. He said accident, but then he corrected himself. All right, that's it.
Thank you for what is a wonderful tribute, and we'll see you in Melbourne soon, huh? Thank you.
When you see me in Melbourne soon, isn't that Sisto's? It didn't look right, but I thought maybe they've, some part of it that I hadn't seen in the TV. You see, I'm sure he said he was at Sisto's. He'd come here, so I'll come here to see Sisto. Come here to eat pasta. Well, look, you Melbourneites can go out there and investigate that. This is just too much bullshit for me.